Namaste, Jai Bharat. We all know that in geopolitics, no one is anyone's friend. No one is anyone's friend in the sense that everyone is only concerned about their own interests, personal interests, and that there is hardly any nation in the world who do not have internal problems, because there are other ethnic groups living in many nations and they have their interests, and these interests often conflict and contradict with the general people who are at the helm of things. So, naturally, but then they appear to be very, very friendly, and people talk about friendship. They call others as my friend, but then it doesn't really go beyond a point to be anything. There are many instances. Way back when Bharat was looking for cryogenic engines, no one was giving us cryogenic engines. So just one example. Many examples are there. And then when that thing happened, Bharat made her own cryogenic engines. That's one thing. Now, this thing has not happened in many cases, especially we had this Hindustan fighter series way back, 50 years before. We had this Hindustan fighter series. We didn't have our engines. We were using some other engines. But then we had the program of creating interceptors and fighters, HF series, and HF-24 used to be was commissioned in the Indian Air Force, and we had squadrons, and they were not performing bad. Rather, they were performing very good. But then that series stopped because of lack of will from the then ruling government of Bharat. They were not that far-sighted into future, that no one will do anything to us. Terrorism was not so much in time those days. Then many such things. Then of late, see, the fighter aircraft series started 50 plus years ago, long back, and now only it has just started surfacing again. We had our Tejas, again built to HAL, and the problem came, we don't have an engine. We have developed a Kaveri engine of our own, but which was not generating the kind of power and thrust that as we needed in the way we wanted. And now, of course, then Bharat thought of depending on GE, General Electricals of US, who promised to give us engine. I think they gave also some engines, and then they were delaying and delaying it, and all kinds of stories in the accounts. Then many such things. Then, of course, during the Kargil battle, I'll call it as real war only, with the Pakistan, we needed navigation facilities, and the GPS was controlled by US. They did not provide us the kind of help that we needed. Then, of course, so many such things. But with Bharat, in all such situations, you see what happened within us. When computers were denied to us once upon a time, and then what happened? This made Bharat to work and make our own supercomputers. Supercomputers were not given to Bharat once upon a time, and that enabled Bharat to make our own supercomputer. Though we became Atmanirbhar then. Then the question of cryogenic engines. No one was giving us cryogenic engines, and then Bharat made Bharat's own cryogenic engines. So we needed to make it, so we made it. So we had that ability, potentiality, and then we made it. So we made our own cryogenic engines. Then look at the GPS system. We did not get the kind of support that we needed. Then Bharat made our own GPS system called Navik. That really has played roles in it. Now, Kaveri engine we made, and we are improving upon it. Things that were required, we make. And in a way, it's in a blessing in this case. Like, the story in the Mahabharata, Urvashi gave a curse to Arjuna, which became a help, blessing in disguise to him during the time of Agyatwas. The story you must be, everyone knows, all Hindus know the stories, and all people of Bharat know the stories. Similarly, when people deny things to Bharat, when people deny, especially the Western world, deny things to Bharat, that really gives us an opportunity or initiative in capital letters to go and make our own things. And each time it happened, we have made our own things. Many times much better than what they had to offer otherwise. This process continues. So I would say that there is a saying in Sanskrit, Vilambena karyasiddhi. It may be delayed. We don't get instant things in our hand. It may be delayed, but it will help us in the sense that we will make our own things. And when we make our own things, we will know about its performance in total. And we can use our own made things much better than anything that we borrow. See, in the past, in army, an individual soldier used to be assigned with his own individual rifles. I think that must still be the case, because the soldier knows his weapon. He uses his weapon, he maintains it. So similarly, when we make something and we operate our own things, our performance are bound to be much better. There is always a point with people of Bharat. Our men are extremely efficient. They're capable, they have potentiality. Only thing, you let the potentiality come out, give them sufficient training, they'll work exceptionally good. Brilliant people we have in our nation. So we make our own things. When people deny us things, we make our own things. So let the world keep denying things to us. They don't realize that the more they deny things to us, the more we become self-sufficient. Atmanirbhar, as we say today. The more we become self-sufficient, we make our own things. And our own things performs much better than what others used to give. So this is the situation. Because they don't, especially the Western world, I'll use a word. Normally I don't use the word Western world because Europeans and others, I don't want to club them together. But nonetheless, the Western world don't want to recognize the potentiality of Bharat. They still wanted to project and say that Bharat still is a land of snake charmers. That's how they would like to look at it, because these people think that they're superior, and which is wrong. That's what Max Muller was made to do. Max Muller himself must have not done it. He was made to do by Macaulay and others, who wanted to show that they have some kind of superiority. I don't know what, and Bharat, of course, is below them. And this Macaulay who understood that the pride of a Bharatiya Nagari is tremendously powerful, and is proud about his history, his tradition, of course his knowledge system, and his religion, and they were unable to break the pride of Bharat. So that's at the instance of Macaulay, only Max Muller was created this cooked up Aryan invasion theory, which does not exist, and lot of work has done to it. I don't want to make it repetition. The Aryan theory is saying that Aryans created the civilization of Bharat, and they are Aryans, and therefore they deserve it, out of respect, and we have only copied or borrowed. It's wrong. That they have copied. Look at the story of the river Saraswati. They didn't want to recognize that there was a river Saraswati. And if they recognize that there was a river Saraswati, then they logically recognize that the Vedic settlements are on either sides of river Saraswati, not only to the southern part of river Sindhu as they have projected. And river Sindhu means it will be less antiquity. Antiquity doesn't create something great, but still, Saraswati, if they accept, then they will have to say that Bharatiya Sanskriti, the Hindu Dharma, and our knowledge tradition is much more than what they try to tell us, that much more ancient than what they try to tell us, etc. They would like to fix it somewhere in BC, which is absolutely wrong, because Dwaraka itself, excavation, you see how many thousands years of old, and we have a chronology in our own Bharatiya knowledge tradition. We have the concept of Manvantara, Kalpa, Yuga, all those things, which has a chronology. How to interpret it? You can interpret it with modern understanding, modern time space concept. You can interpret it and get a realistic picture. But then things are far clear than any confusion. So this West has this disease of believing themselves to be some much superior to others, which is absolutely wrong, very wrong. You just can't speak about superiority, inferiority in a general sense. They think they are civilized, but they are not civilized. And when you compare with other civilizations in the world, because civilization is not the dress you put, civilization is not the polished appearance that you make yourselves. Civilization is not with the kind of food you eat as superior. I don't know if there is something called a superior food. Well, we would call about three types of food: Sattvika, Rajasika, and Tamasika. And Rajasika and Tamasika are food are inferior in our concept, and these people eat only Tamasika more and Sattvika much less. So, in that, if you talk about food, then they all continuously eat much inferior food. So, this kind of thoughts they have. So, they don't want to recognize and give the due to Bharat. Let them not give. When they don't give due to us, we'll snatch. Actually, their refusal to accept Bharatiya ability, their refusal to give us our due would enable us or make us more powerful to snatch it where it is required, and we had been doing it and will continue to do it. Atmanirbhar, self-sufficiency has not broken from the sky and fallen to us. We work. We have the ability to work. Our people can do it. They had been doing it, and we have many positive things as compared to the rest of the world. We depend on those positive things. Not that we don't have negative things, but on a comparison, negative are less and positive much more. So each time the West denies us some technology, we make it. So their denial is a blessing in disguise, like the Urvashi Shapa to Arjuna. It's a blessing in disguise. Then we make our own things. Let them continue say not to us. We will continue to make our own things and perform much beyond their expectation. This Pakistan Bharat skirmish of the recent days, 4 days, shall give an indicator, should work as an indicator to our ability to perform, which shall shock the kind of expectations what others used to keep. So we shall meet again with some other thought. Till then, Namaste, Jai Bharat, Jai Shri Ram.